Hi,
Hello
everyone.
again. Page 44 of Crisis of Conscience in the chapter Governing Body. In the last segment, Ray has been discussing his dismay with the early frequency of certain subjects at the governing body level and how cavalierly decisions regarding policy, which affects millions of lives, were just agreed upon with a consensus that was ill-informed and not particularly prayed over either.
Yeah.
And now he's talking about questions about what's kosher sexual behavior in people's bedrooms. And he's not pleased with the way the governing body is handling this one either. He says many letters went out from the society in response to the questions that were coming in about sexual behavior among couples. Often they endeavored to provide some limited clarification, saying without exactly saying as to what sexual foreplay fell within the bounds of condemned actions, other foreplay thereby being exempt. A memo from a member of the Society's service department in June of 1976 discusses a telephone conversation with an instructor of seminars that were held with elders. The memo relates that the instructor had phoned about an elder attending the seminar who confessed to certain disapproved sexual practices within his marriage. The memo states, quote, "Brother," and here they give the name of the brother, the instructor, "Brother so-and-so closely discussed the matter with him to determine whether it was really oral copulation that was involved. The instructor had told him, in view of the circumstances, that he ought to go to the other members of the committee, and it happened that the other two members of the committee were in the class, and so he went and talked with them. Now the instructor was wondering what else should be done. It was suggested to him that he write a full report on this to the society, so that in the future, when he has any such case come up, he will have direction on how to handle the matter, and he will not have to call." End of quote. Ray says this illustrates the extent to which interrogation went in intimacy and the extent to which the headquarters organization supervised the whole situation.
Letter after letter reveals that the persons involved felt positively responsible before God to report to the elders any deviance from the norm established by the governing body. I think that's important.
Yeah, great phrase.
Established by the governing body. A man in a Midwestern state who confessed to an infringement of the governing body's decision to regard his marital relation as regards his marital relations with his wife was told by the elders that they were writing about this to the society. He also wrote an accompanying letter. 8 weeks passed, and finally he wrote again to Brooklyn, saying that the waiting, anxiety, and anticipation is almost more than I can bear. He said that he had been removed from all congregational assignments, including offering prayer at the meetings, and that almost weekly I am losing something that I have worked and prayed for 30 years. He pleaded for an early answer, saying, "I do need some mental relief as to how I stand with Jehovah's organization."
How I stand with Jehovah's organization.
Yeah, no, how I stand before God.
How many times does that particular idea come up in the scriptures? Some elders endeavored to take a moderate approach to the matter. Doing so, however, could make them liable for reprimand from the headquarters offices in Brooklyn, and consider therefore this letter. This is a letter, he has photocopied it here. It's a letter from the service department at New York headquarters to a congregation about an issue that had come up within the congregation itself. It's addressed to the body of elders of the blank congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. Dear brothers, we have a copy of the letter dated July 21st from the committee of the blank congregation in California, in which they write almost about matters involving, and then the person is named. Please let us know if any of the elders in the congregation have been giving incorrect advice with regard to matters involving oral sex. If any of the elders in the congregation have advised married persons that if that it would not be improper for them to engage in oral sex, then on what basis was such counsel given? If wrong counsel was given, then let us know if appropriate steps have been taken to correct any misunderstanding on the part of the individuals who were given wrong counsel, and let us know if the elders concerned now are in agreement with what has been stated in the Society's publications with regard to oral sex. If any of your brothers, sorry, this is in
Smaller print.
This is in small print in the usual typing style. If any of you brothers as elders have been advising individuals that oral sex would be permissible as foreplay prior to having actual sex relations, then such advice was not correct. Thank you for your attention to the above matter. May Jehovah's rich blessing go with you as you endeavor always to care for your responsibility as elders in an exemplary manner. So you can see right from this that certainly the brothers are desperate. The brothers who are asking and sending letters to the society are desperate to get guidance that they can rely on. But obviously the local elders are not unanimous. They're not in sync with the society, at least with the governing body, on these issues. As Ray wasn't, as we'll find out in the next segment.
Yeah.
Ray wasn't in sync with the policy. That is the dogmatism of the policy, although he agreed with some of the judgments as to why the policy.
But whether or not
set.
it was their place.
Yeah.
So what's the link?
The link, well, it's your writing.
Okay. In our culture, where Eros, has been defined, let's meditate upon Bible marriages, good and bad.
See you next time.